The main area I focused on was to give people sense of purpose and something that everyone could buy into. The one thing you never ever hear me talk about is money. I never talk about money. I never talk about commissioning or anything like that. I just talk about how you can stop harming patients, and then everything else takes care of itself, really. Because no one can actually argue with me when you sort of use the language of, you know, the job is to kill the least number of patients and to get the best outcomes for those patients. And in terms of focusing people, you've got to have quite a rigorous performance management in place to look at outcomes for patients. We review 100% of all deaths, and in 11% of all deaths there is some form of suboptimal care that's been given, and then you've got to work on that. And unless you actually acknowledge you don't do everything well, you'll never change anything. And it never ceases to amaze me at how many people and NHS organisations do not review mortality. The other thing that I would say in terms of efficiency, the money has absolutely taken care of itself. I've gone from being one of the most financially challenged trusts in the NHS to, you know, now we've got the largest surplus of any NHS trust. Yeah? So, you know, you can take care of the money, but you will not engage clinical staff. You won't engage nursing staff if you just talk about money. You've got to take the agenda in another direction, and you then get common purpose. And I think one of the best examples I've got really is infection prevention. We have got the best record in the NHS for MRSA, gone 1,300 days without an MRSA. And you've got to engage the porters, the domestics, the doctors, the nurses, and they're all very proud of that achievement, and it would not have been achieved without everybody actually getting behind it. Feedback from patients, we actually carry out patient surveys on about 80% of all patients, and I think we've gone from a situation where the hospital was, you know, front page of the local evening paper 3 nights a week with the latest, you know, horrible thing that had happened, to I can't remember when we were last on the front page. You know, it's that long ago. And generally speaking, you know, patients think they get a very good service from the organisation. And I think most importantly with that is acknowledging that we don't always get it right, and working with those complainants to actually then go on and improve services. And if we do have a complainant, we develop an action plan for how we're going to change things with the complainant, and then we get them to come back again and actually, you know, see how we're doing in terms of affecting the change. So, you know, I think we have a very good reputation with local people, and for our regional services, you know, probably one of the best reputations of the 4 tertiary centres in the West Midlands. I think the biggest lesson that could be learned, and I hear so much talk at the present time about the financial plight of the NHS. I've done this job for too long, really. You know, I've had 10 good financial years, right? I had 15 years of living hand to mouth before that. The NHS has been here before. So, you know, I think we do have to remember we've survived on no growth before. And, you know, we've got an awful lot more ammunition now than we had then because of technology. Technology has changed things enormously. I mean, example of that, I mean, we have a system that monitors the vital signs of all patients, and we've cut our cardiac arrest rate down to virtually nothing because we identify the deteriorating patient, get them into ITU before they arrest, and that saves us a lot of money. Saves 1 or 2 lives as well, which you can see that's a bonus.